8. Have you ever really stopped to think about why you picked out the clothes you're wearing today? It probably felt like a pretty simple choice, right? But the truth is, every single thing we wear, from a t-shirt to a pair of shoes, is a small piece of a much, much bigger story. The clothes on our backs are kind of like a living document, telling the world who we are and what our world is like. So let's decode what they're really saying. You know how it is. One minute, skinny jeans are everywhere, and the next, it's all about wide leg pants. Hemlines go up, they go down. But is this whole cycle of what's in and what's out just random? Is it all just chaos, or is there actually something bigger driving all these changes? Well, it turns out there is. And the secret to understanding all of this isn't really hidden away in some fancy designer's studio. Nope, it's all around us. It all boils down to one single, really powerful idea that explains almost everything. And that big idea is the Zeitgeist. It's a German word, and it literally means the spirit of the times. At its very core, fashion is a direct response to this collective mood. It's like a mirror, reflecting our society's interests, what motivates us, and what we find beautiful at any given moment. So what's fueling this constantly changing spirit? Well, a huge driver is just part of our human nature. Our minds are basically wired to look for what's new and different. It's this constant psychological hunt for novelty that creates the demand for the next big thing. And this drive for something new goes way beyond just our clothes. I mean, just think about the mobile phone for a second. It started as a clunky, simple tool for making calls. But that wasn't enough for us, was it? We wanted sleeker designs, new apps, the latest version. We turned a purely functional object into a full-blown fashion statement, sometimes even a luxury item dripping with jewels. That's our search for novelty, right there in action. Okay, so let's break down the major forces that shape the zeitgeist. And we're going to start with one of the biggest ones out there, the economy. Believe it or not, the money in our pockets, or the lack of it, has a huge, huge impact on what we think is fashionable. And you can really see this in two extremes. When the economy is booming, people are feeling optimistic, and you see that reflected in fashion with more innovative, even risk-taking designs. But when there's a recession, our whole mindset shifts. Suddenly, it's all about value for money, durability, and classic practical clothes that are going to last. The mood of the market really does dictate the mood of our wardrobe. But the economy is just one piece of the puzzle. The next major influence is society itself. Fashion is basically a social language, and it's deeply connected to our identity, our community, and our sense of place in the world. Just look back through history for a second. The frayed jeans and tie-dye of the 60s, those weren't just clothes. They were the uniform of the hippie counterculture. The big, broad-shouldered power suits of the 80s, that was a direct reflection of women entering the corporate world in huge numbers. And the whole grunge look of the 90s, that was a reaction against all the polished excess of the decade before. Each look perfectly captures the social spirit of its time. Now, inside our society, there's this really fascinating push and pull dynamic that keeps trends moving forward. You can think of it as a constant game of follow the leader between different social and economic groups. So, the first part of this game is what we call imitation. This is the natural desire to look like those in more affluent circles. It's that aspiration that creates this huge market for more affordable versions and, yeah, even fakes of high-end styles. But as soon as a style starts getting copied by the masses, the upper classes need a new way to stand out. And that's the other side of the coin, differentiation. They move on to new, exclusive, high-priced items to set themselves apart again. And this constant cycle of imitation and differentiation becomes this powerful engine, keeping fashion moving forever forward. All right, so beyond the economy and social games, where do designers actually get their ideas from? Well, they find their inspiration in the world of culture, art, and the massive archives of history. You can kind of think of designers pulling from two giant worlds of inspiration. On one side, you've got what's called high culture, things like fine art, classical music, literature. And on the other side, you've got popular culture, all the stuff we see every day, right? Movies, TV shows, magazines, and of course, everything we scroll past on the internet. And inspiration doesn't just trickle down from the top. Sometimes the coolest ideas bubble up right from the street. This is the perfect example from the designer Manish Arora. He takes inspiration from the incredible, vibrant graphics you see on trucks and transport all over India and translates them into these amazing high-fashion collections. It's a classic case of the trickle-up theory, where street style ends up influencing the runway. And, beyond what's happening right now, designers are also basically time travelers. They dive deep into museums and archives, studying the shapes, the fabrics, and the colors of past eras. Then they take those historical ideas and completely reimagine them for a modern collection, giving old styles a brand new life. Okay, that brings us to our final factor, and this one is maybe the most direct of all: politics. What happens in the halls of power and the style of the people who are in them can absolutely shape what we end up wearing on the street. And Indian history gives us some incredibly powerful examples of this. When Mahatma Gandhi spun his own khadi cloth, it wasn't just about making fabric. It was a powerful worldwide symbol of independence. Later on, the Nehru jacket became this iconic statement, a clear alternative to the Western suit. And more recently, Prime Minister Modi's own style of jacket has become instantly recognizable. Clothing can absolutely be a political statement. This quote really just brings everything together so perfectly. It reminds us that fashion isn't just about what one person likes. It's the visual expression of our collective identity, a statement about our society's shared values and what we all prefer. So at the end of the day, what we wear is never, ever random. Every single outfit is a snapshot. It's this complex mix of economics, social dynamics, cultural inspiration, and political moments, all woven together into the fabric we wear every single day. And that leaves us with one last fascinating question to think about. Just look around you. Look at what you and your friends are wearing right now. If fashion truly is the spirit of our times made visible, what story are our clothes going to tell future generations about the world we're living in today?